raising awareness and taking proactive measures, the Daniel P. Figgins Memorial Foundation's mission is to help lower heart-related deaths of law enforcement officers. With us today is the founder and executive director, Craig R. Figgins, and Linda Figgins from the Daniel Figgins Foundation. Welcome to Community Connection. First of all, let me express my sympathy at your loss. It's been a number of years, but maybe you can give us, Craig, a little bit of history, how the foundation came to be following the death of your brother.
Shortly after his death, we went out to Washington, D.C. when Dan's name was put on the wall. And we were there and we were thinking, how can we stop, the feelings that the family were having and the hurt and the pain and the grief? Is there anything at all we can do, to help other families through that? And that's when we came up with the foundation that we're going to do something to stop other officers having heart-related deaths.
Well, and it's not unheard of in the police field for officers to die in the line of duty. But this was unusual circumstances. Dan collapsed while he was in the midst of pursuing two suspects that were doing a senior prank at a high school. And so it was really out of the norm. And so I think that maybe would make the death even more painful. How common are heart-related deaths among police officers?
I did some research. Not all of the police departments report heart-related deaths because a lot of times it happens after an officer retires, but not in the line of duty. Since 2000, there were 80-some, but I think the most alarming point is the age. The average age is 47 years old of an officer dying in the line of duty having a heart attack. Some even in their 20s, in their 30s, and that's when we looked at that information and said, we have to do something.
Well, that is truly an alarming statistic because you don't expect it. I would imagine, being a police officer, you have to take a regular physical exam or some type of test to show that you can have the endurance to handle the job, the stamina that's required for those things. So for that kind of statistic, it is rather alarming. So how are you reaching out to the police departments?
We're actually talking to the police departments in this area first. We started right here in Kane County. So what we do is we contact the police chiefs, set up a time, whether it's training, roll call even, and go in and talk to the actual individual officers. Let them know that having a stress test does not work. It didn't work for my brother. He had a stress test shortly before he died, and it didn't work. So we go over those facts, and then what we do is we actually fund and pay for heart checks with Heart Check of America, and send the officers to get heart checks so they have the peace of mind knowing that they're safe.
And as do their families, and knowing, because with that test, obviously you thought things were fine with the results of that
stress. He passed every time. And so my daughters, both of them have said, oh, if we'd only gotten Dad to Heart Check America or something, they might have found it ahead of time. And we don't want any other family to have to go through this.
How old was your husband, Linda?
53.
Okay, so
53.
Very young, and as you said, not really in your purview to be thinking of heart disease in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, but it is a more common occurrence. If a police department wanted to get involved in the program, is it limited to Illinois?
No, not at all. I mean, right now it is just because we're brand new and we've only been in operation for a little over a month. But we do we'll go outside of it. And it's not necessarily just King County either. For instance, Aurora, which is on the southern side of King County, they contacted us, and we've sent almost the entire midnight shift, sergeants and lieutenant, to get checked.
And as a 501c3 and a nonprofit or not-for-profit, people can make a donation to this wonderful cause by visiting your website, and it's just a wonderful legacy to leave for your husband.
He would love it.
And for your daughters, too, and a sense to know that you are helping a cause that was very important to him. He spent a number of years in law enforcement and in security, so it's a good thing that you're doing. We invite people to go to your website for more information, and if they have a police department that would like to participate, or if they'd like to learn more about you. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for giving us this chance.
If you have an interest in all things Irish, the 23rd